Just win, baby. 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 Just win, baby.
What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? I am CT Dinero. Welcome to another Real Men Are Raiders podcast. Shout out to everybody that shows up live and watches it at another time. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Put out content as much as I can, keep it real all the time. Hope everyone's had a good week. Hope everyone's gotten that nasty feeling of a Vikings game out of their system, out of their stomach. It was a bad game, ugly game. At the same time, we lost by 3, but on the other side, we lost by 3. We only put up 3 points, so it was a bad game. Just want to do something a little bit different, hang out with everybody who shows up, talk about the Chargers. We got Justin Herbert's out, and it seems like we keep like catching a break, with these teams and the quarterbacks. I mean, besides like the Chiefs and Miami and everything like that, but the Bears, we got Bajent, and then the Jets, we had Zach Wilson who wasn't doing good, and um now we got another backup quarterback, and we have a backup quarterback, so I don't know. It seems like we keep getting chances, but we can't capitalize on them, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully tomorrow's game will be a little bit different with Herbert out. I know we just picked up oh man, I'm like drawing a blank right now. Uh we just picked up a new offensive lineman. I know he was a first round pick in, like, I think it was 2013. Man, I can't think of his name right now. Anyways, but hopefully, I know it'll come to me. Hopefully he'll end up doing something for us to help the line, and I think um Aiden O'Connell, just he needs to really like he said in the press conference, he hasn't done good enough. He hasn't done anything well enough to really like seal the deal for this being his job, So hopefully he can really make some improvements, because everything that we've been seeing, I mean, it started out kind of good, and then everything since then has just been, he can't take care of the ball. It's turnovers, it's interceptions. The defense is reading his eyes too much, you know what I'm saying? Salute John Leon. There we go. Fluker. Thank you, DJ Fluker. That's who we signed. But I mean, he hasn't played since I think 2020. So who knows what kind of shape he's gonna be in right now? I think he's kind of like just mainly like a depth piece, maybe. So I mean, other than that, I really think everything has to start with O'Connell. I honestly think Bo Hardigree needs to give up play calling and maybe pass it on to, I don't even really know who else can call the plays. I know there's a couple people on there, but everything I've seen from Bo Hardigree, especially the last 2 games, it feels like McDaniels is calling the plays again. It feels like McDaniels is out there. We can't move the ball, we can't put up points, we can't capitalize on our defense, and it's for all the talent that this team has, it's sad, man. Devontae walking out of the locker room again before the media, and it's hard to watch as a Raider fan. It's hard to watch as a Raider fan, and now we're getting to the point where you got other people saying, like, we should just lose these next 4 games. I mean, you see how Devontae is right now when they go out there and from what we think they're trying to win, and how he acts. Imagine if they go out there and they intentionally, like, they lose on purpose. They intentionally lose. Like, I can't see Devontae like wanting to be part of that. He's a contender. Max is a contender, and Max is like 2.5 sacks from being from tying the all-time franchise leading sack record for the Raiders. I think he has 13 and a half right now. I think it was Borges. He did it in I want to say 2015 or 2013, something like that. He had 16 sacks. So with Max being so close to being able to tie that record, or possibly being able to pass it, all he has to do is get 1 sack in the next 4 games, and he passes it by half a sack. So he'll be the new franchise leading sack record holder. But with everything going on with him right now, like, do we take that risk? Like, let him play in the game until he gets a sack, and then like take him out. And then if he does hit that sack record before, like, he's gonna want to put up more. So it's a double-edged sword with Max. you know Shout out Afakasi. What's up, man? Salute. Hope you're doing good, dude. Ready to rundown. What's up, brother? I'm gonna be sending out the link in a little bit. I just kind of wanted to do my own thing for a bit. But like I was saying about just going out there and like losing on purpose. I don't see this team doing it. I don't see them wanting to do it. And oh, that's what I was talking about. Max Crosby possibly being the new sack record holder. And I mean, with the kind of person he is, I can't see him wanting to go out there and lose, even if he does get his numbers up. You know, I can't see him wanting to go out there and lose. I can't see Devontae wanting to go out there and lose. I can't see Jacobs wanting to go out there and lose, especially it being his his free agent year. You know, he's going into next year being a free agent. He's gonna want to do the best he can. I mean, he's trying his best right now, but I'm obviously he's not what he was last year. I don't know if it's because he missed training camp. I don't know if it's because of the O line. I don't know if it's because the quarterback. But either way, you know, Jacobs ain't the same Jacobs from last year. So it's kind of hard to to be positive about him coming back next year. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's all good off of Kasi. I appreciate it, man. But I mean, so people are like, yeah, let's just lose the next 4 games. We'll get a higher draft pick. People are talking about Garoppolo wanting to go back in for these next few games. And I don't think it's I mean, obviously O'Connell hasn't performed the way all any of us wanted, but at the same time, I said when Antonio Pierce took over, when you know all that change happened and they're gonna run with O'Connell, I said that I wanted them to run with O'Connell for the rest of the season so that we could see what he is and what he isn't. You know, if it means wins, if it means losses, I mean, it is what it is. Like this is what I asked for. I'm gonna stand on it. Plus, I mean, Garoppolo was out 3 games and was still leading the league in interceptions in like week 7 and 8, and he got hurt like every other game. You know, so to put him in there, we got 4 games left with that trend he's going to get hurt again. Is a high risk he's going to get hurt again. And if he's hurt going into the end of the year, then we owe him money. He's on the roster no matter what, and that money gets wasted, and we got to keep him on the roster. You know, so I don't want Garoppolo going back in, even if it does mean us possibly losing the rest of the 4 games. But I'm gonna stand on what I said. I want O'Connell to finish out the season. I honestly think Bo Hardegree is a big part of it. He comes from that Josh McDaniels, you know, tree and all that stuff. So I mean, he's kind of calling things the same way. I I I don't want to see Jimmy Garoppolo back in there. I don't want to see him hurt and us have to keep him next year, and it just be a waste, you know. Yeah, Zamir White, you know, and even Jacobs might be hurt. They said that there was a report saying that they won't promote any running backs or anything from the practice squad, but we still got Sincere McCormick. I mean, who knows what he has. If he's any good, we're probably gonna get rid of him. But I mean, throw him in there, you know, especially if Jacobs don't play, because from what I've seen this year from Zamir White, he hasn't really done anything. You know, he has I think like 20 something attempts and only like 50 yards. So he hasn't really done a lot. Henry, who you talking about? John Leon? Henry who? I don't know who you're talking about, Henry. He has not impressed me since he's been in the door last few games, or get out of here next season. Who you talking about hasn't impressed you since they've been through the door off of Kasi? Oh, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's a beast, dude. Um, I don't I don't know kind of like what his contract situation is, like what he wants. So I don't know if it'll be possible to bring him in on like one of those veteran contracts, 2, 3 years. I know he won't take like no minimum, you know, he ain't gonna take like no like 5, 6 million a year. At least I don't think so. Cause I haven't really seen him this year, but I mean from what I know Derrick Henry to be the last few years, you know, he's been a pretty badass running back. Dark, salute, man. Appreciate you for pulling up. I'm really excited to see this game tomorrow, though. We get a lot of Raider football in 1 week. I hope it's better than that Vikings game. A lot of people catching flack for that Vikings game. Um, it was it was bad. It was a really bad game. Then Afakasi spoken into existence. Mullins coming in and beating us. So thank you, Afakasi, for that. But no, it was a bad game, man. For people wanted again, people were calling for the quarterback change at the end. And like I said, I'm gonna stand on what I said when all this change happened. Just let O'Connell roll it up, write it out, see what he has. If anything, just change up Bo Hardegree, man. His play calling, like I said, he comes from that Josh McDaniels tree, and it almost feels like Josh McDaniels is out there calling the plays, So get someone else to call the plays. Um, I think AP he needs to bounce back and get at least like 3 wins out of these next 4 weeks. And I think not only for his job, but for him himself, because you see him compared to when, he was putting up posts on him on Instagram, smoking cigars and super cocky and everything. You see him in those press conferences, man. He looks defeated. He looks defeated. You see it in his face, you see it in his eyes. I mean, he even said it at, like the third game in. I think it was the first loss. Like he don't know how people do this, for 20, 30 years. So I don't know if he has a long term, structure for it. Cause like I said, after 3 losses, and I know it's 3 losses in a row, but after 3 losses, I mean he looks kind of defeated up there at the podium. And it's not the same AP we saw, like the Lolo and the NWA and all that stuff. It almost felt like that got real old, kind of quick. And after those couple losses, that whole vibe kind of just like started to, kind of just smoke away and everything. So, Rafa, what's up, dude? ALC missed some checkdowns, but I do agree keeping him for the rest of the season. I mean, I agree. He's made some mistakes and he's missed some throws and he hasn't taken care of the ball and everything like that. But Jimmy's not the he's Garoppolo's not the future. Hoyer's not the future. I doubt either one of them will be on the roster next year. And I hope they're not, So let O'Connell ride it out. And if anything, he's gonna be on the team next year. He could be a backup. He's gonna know the system. Maybe he can get a little bit better. But as of right now, like just we've already seen these other quarterbacks. Garoppolo was leading the league in interceptions and he missed 3 games. So we've already seen that. He can't stay on the field. He gets hurt every other game. Hoyer, I don't want to see Hoyer. O'Connell had to come in to relieve Hoyer, so that already shows you that. I don't know, man. I'm down with just rolling with O'Connell. I know it might mean losing the next 4 games. We might not win another game this season, but at the same time, I'm gonna stand on what I said, and I still think they should roll with O'Connell. Just change the play caller, because Bo Hardegree isn't it. Bo Hardegree isn't it at all. And then rolling to the Giants, like they got Bosa, they got Mac. Herbert ain't playing, which is kind of a plus for us, like I touched on earlier. What's his name? Easton Stick, I think. I think that's his name. Um, Never even heard of the guy, so I have no idea what he brings to the table or anything like that. I know Herbert's out for the rest of the season. We only got one more game against them. I'm kind of thinking, like what's up with, should Max be out the rest of the season? Should Colton Miller be out the rest of the season, especially if we're thinking long term for any of these players? Then again, just I would love to see Max break that sack record this year. I would love to see that. I ain't even gonna lie. I would love to see Max break that sack record. Because if he could do it after everything he's been through this season, being hurt, going back out there, just fighting everything off and still breaking that record, like man, he needs to really take the season off, that off season off, and get healthy and come back and do that shit again next year. And one thing I did see in that in the last game against the Vikings, Tyree Wilson in the middle. I said that shit earlier on in the season. If he were to put on a little bit more size, uh, he has the length and he has like the size for it, like the height. He's a big dude. If he were to put on like like 30, 40 pounds, he's coming at you in the middle. You saw a little bit of it in that Vikings game. He was causing a little bit of disruption in the middle, and everything that he was able to do with the size he is right now. He has a lot of length and he's learning how to use his arms a little bit. I see people like on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it saying like he's starting to show potential of that first round pick. I don't think he'll ever live up to that hype. I don't think Tyree Wilson will ever live up to that hype. I don't think any of the first round picks we've gotten in the last few years will ever live up to that hype besides like maybe Josh Jacobs. Um, Other than that, uh, I just I really need to see something different in this Chargers game. With all the breaks that we've been getting, like I said, especially at quarterback, they're gonna bring defense. Mac had a big game against O'Connell the last time they played, but O'Connell wasn't as prepared. The line's been playing a little bit better. I think it's O'Connell that's just, making the mistakes and everything. What's up, Menace? Salute, brother. Rafa needs to improve more on defense and arm protection. There's a lot that Tyree needs to work on for real. Because that first round pick, especially everybody like seeing what like Jalen Carter's doing right now, and a lot of the first round picks that we think like could have been, the report coming out how Ziegler wanted Stroud, and it always hurts to think about, because we never make the right decision at that first round pick. And just to think, if we would have went Carter, if we would have went Stroud, like supposedly Ziegler had everything in place to get Stroud and keep Max and keep Devontae. And it probably involved like Jacobs or Renfro or something like that. But I mean, if we could have got Stroud, had Jacoby Myers, upgraded at a running back, like, oh man, just I hate that woulda, coulda, shoulda type of shit. I hate it. I hate to think about it. I hate to think about it. So I want to ask you guys in the chat. I want to see what you guys think, you know, because there's a lot there's a lot going on right now with the nation, and I really want to know what you guys think after that last game. Oh shit. What do you guys think about AP staying as a head coach? From right now, everything that you've seen, if you had to make a decision on it right now, like I said, he had 3 losses in a row. And he don't look like that same AP. I don't know if he's still bumping NWA, rolling in the Lolo. I don't know if they're still smoking cigars in the locker room. But after these 3 losses in a row, I know he's not a head coach. But if he could find a way to come out of it and get like 3 wins and show that he can make those adjustments and improvements, I wouldn't be mad as far as the fact because the players love playing for him, especially the defense. I don't want anything that has happened with the defense right now, So I would love AP to stay, but I would love for him to make those adjustments and show me that he's like he could be that guy. He could be that guy to help us turn that corner. If we get a couple of things that are just a quarterback, offensive coordinator, just stuff like that. Give him a proven offensive coordinator. I'll be okay with AP. Yeah, facts. That's exactly what I just said. I feel exactly the same way. I think if he can get an offensive coordinator, a more experienced offensive coordinator, someone who's not that old school minded type of offensive coordinator, someone who knows, you know, um, the new ways, the ins and outs, and if we can get a quarterback that can really perform up to what they're trying to do as far as like RPOs and stuff like that, I really think this offense could go somewhere. But that's if we had all that this year. Like what how do you see the team looking different next year? Like what pieces do you think will be gone? You know what I'm saying? So who's gonna be gone next year? Who y'all think will be gone next year? A new quarterback, an offensive coordinator, and keep AP. Yep. I feel exactly the same way. I'm down for keeping AP. Like I said, the mindset he has, I'm down with it. I feel bad for the guy because he doesn't have the tools right now to execute the way he wants. He doesn't have the tools to do what he wants to do. He doesn't have the players to do what he wants to do. He doesn't have the offensive coordinator, the quarterback to do what he wants to do. And you could tell how much it's hurting him right now. You could really tell how much it's hurting him right now. John Leon, I wouldn't be mad if they traded Adams. I wouldn't be mad if they traded Adams. Everybody gets mad at me for saying it. Like who's he gonna throw to next? Who's our new quarterback gonna throw to next year? Adams doesn't want to play with a rookie quarterback. He already said it. He doesn't want to play with a rookie quarterback. Even if I don't I mean, even I don't know if he'd even want to play with Caleb Williams. I don't know if he'll want to play with any of those guys. They haven't proven themselves in the NFL. He doesn't want to play with a rookie quarterback. He doesn't want to play with someone who hasn't proven themselves in the NFL to get him the numbers that he wants to get. So honestly, if they were to trade Adams and get some really high value picks and like a good player, I would not be mad at it because right now, I honestly feel like we're wasting his career anyways. So I mean, even if we were to get a good quarterback next year, that doesn't mean that they're gonna gel right away like O'Connell and him now. Like it doesn't mean. I mean, you can say like we might draft a better quarterback skill wise, but still going to take that time, to build that chemistry and everything. And I just don't think Adams wants to play with a rookie quarterback. I do not think he wants to play with a rookie quarterback. I think we get AP cheap too. Give him like a 2-year deal with like a 1-year outing. Give him a 2-year deal with if he doesn't perform up to expectations, like he doesn't have a winning record or he doesn't get us to the playoffs or at the end of 2 years, since he might draft a quarterback, give him 2 years. See what he could do in those 2 years and let that rookie quarterback go into their second year. I wouldn't be mad at AP getting 2 years neither. I wouldn't let him ride out the whole 2 years and a good offensive coordinator, a good quarterback. We make good picks in the draft, defensive tackle, maybe a linebacker, cornerback, stuff like that. I wouldn't be mad at it for real. I don't think we could trade Adams, but we're gonna need more defense to fill up. Yeah, that's facts. I don't. I don't. It's not that I don't think. It's not that I don't think that we can trade Adams. I think it's gonna be up to whatever team that's gonna like want to put up something for him. You know, they're gonna have to put up some draft capital and a player. So I don't think it's that we can't trade him. I think it's the team that wants to trade for him has to have the money to pay for his contract one and the draft capital and players to trade away, to give to us because Adams at least uh like a superstar player, a first round this year or a second round this year and a third this year and like a first next year. He's worth it. I think he's worth it. When I see Adams slam the ball after coming up short for the first down, that's when I said we need to trade Adams. I mean, yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Like he knew what he was getting into when he came here. He says it all the time that he wants to be a Raider. He wants to stay here, but I just think he's professional. He knows what to say. He's not going to slam the Raiders. I know he still loves the team. He's probably still a fan of the team. He probably just doesn't want to play for him, and I'm not mad at him for it. I have videos from last year saying that I feel like we're wasting Devontae Adams, like, or not last year, at the beginning of this year. Once we got rid of Carr and everything, I feel like we're just wasting his career here. Like he's not happy. He's not putting up the numbers he wants. He doesn't have the quarterback that he wants. He doesn't have a good offensive coordinator. Like it's all bad, and for all the talent that we have on this team, if you're to look at this team on paper and without looking at the quarterback, you're just be like, holy shit, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfro, Josh Jacobs, Michael Mayer, everybody, like they play a really good role and they play a really good part. But when you get to that quarterback, it's just like, oh man, like rookie quarterback, rookie offensive coordinator. Sucks. Sauce Gardner with a first for Adams and an AOC. I don't think they'll take O'Connell, but I'll give them Adams for Sauce Gardner and a first, and like maybe like a second next year or something like that. I wouldn't take just Sauce with a first this year. It would have to be Sauce Gardner, a first round this year, and like a second round next year or something like that. It would have to be like that much draft capital. But I mean, Rodgers wants him. I'd even take Quinnen Williams. I'd take Quinnen Williams too. Put Quinnen Williams in the middle, Max on the edge, Tyree in the middle with Quinnen Williams. We draft another defensive end. That'd be pretty dope. Eric Bieniemy. I heard he was wasn't he the defensive coordinator in Kansas City or something like that? And then he went to where's he at right now? Like Tampa Bay or Miami or something like that. But I know people wanted him as a head coach last year when everything was going on with the whole head coaching job and everything like that. So offensive coordinator, I'd be down with it. But I mean, the question that I get to is, does our quarterback debate the offensive coordinator that we get, or does our offensive coordinator debate the quarterback we get? Ooh, shit, excuse me. The quarterback that we get. What if the offensive coordinator we get, is more of like a pocket passing type of, offensive coordinator. They're not like a RPO or, kind of calling plays for like a mobile quarterback. I mean, I know that's where the league's going now, and I want someone, an offensive coordinator like that. I want some type of mobile quarterback. I'm not talking about like a Michael Vick, but someone who can make plays out the pocket, extend plays, even run for a couple first downs, here and there, but still have the arm talent to get the ball down the field, to make those accurate deep ball throws and be accurate, short. Washington. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Washington. I mean, I'd be down with Eric Bieniemy being an offensive coordinator. I don't know. I'd have to watch more of like what they do over there in Washington, because I don't even know who the quarterback is over there. But again, you're only as good as the talent you got and the players, how they play and on all that shit. So that's why I don't want to get rid of AP, because they play really hard for AP. Chase Young will be a free agent next year. Hey, Chase Young, when I saw what San Francisco got for Chase Young, I was a little upset. I think they gave him like what? It was like a third or a fourth round pick. Like that was it for Chase Young. And now San Francisco looks like a fucking Madden team on defense. Like I wouldn't doubt it if they win the Super Bowl, dude, the way they're playing. The defense they got, I mean, Eagles going to the Super Bowl again, maybe. I don't know. Chase Young and Crosby, though, that would be dope. Chase Young, Crosby, Quinnen Williams in the trade. We get put Tyree in the middle, make him put on some weight. And we still got Kuntz on the outside. I like Kuntz the way he's been coming up. Even Bilal Nichols in the inside, he's been putting in work. He's been doing a lot better, So if we can just add a couple of like better pieces, like those players for defensive or offensive coordinators to be like, all right, we got to make sure we double team him or something like that. And they can only double team so many people. They can only chip so many people out the line, So like you said, if we had like Crosby and Chase Young, only thing I fear about like Chase Young is he gets hurt a lot. He's injury prone. Um, and we can put him in there like a good rotational player, you know, I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. If we get him for a good cheap deal, I wouldn't be mad at it. But if he goes all the way with San Francisco, I could probably see them keeping him for real, the way he's been with Bosa. So I want to get to this question real quick for you guys that are on here. Who do you guys think will be gone next year? We already covered Adams getting traded. It's gonna take a lot of draft capital. It's gonna, at least for me, it's gonna take a lot of draft capital and a good player um for Devontae Adams to get traded. But I honestly wouldn't be mad at it. I would not be mad at it at all. What do you guys think about Jacobs? You guys think Jacobs is gonna be here next year? I mean, if we get a rookie quarterback, Antonio Pierce, everything. I don't know. What you guys think about Jacobs coming back? He obviously hasn't been the same he's been this year. And like I said, I don't know if it's the offensive line. Cole Miller has been in and out, but it took him a while to get jump started last year. But still, at the same time, he looks like he's like lost like half a step. He doesn't have like the same burst out the backfield. He has flashes of it, but it's not like consistent like it was last year. He's not hitting those holes that he was um with the same, like I said, with the same burst. He's getting hit in the backfield a lot. Like I said, I don't know if it's the play calling, the offensive line, the quarterback, the offense. I don't know what it is, but I mean, do you guys think Jacobs is going to be back next year? And it sucks too because I really want that number 8 jersey. I really want that 8. That 8 jersey is dope. I'll probably get it regardless. Fay P is our coach. I think we keep him, but in my opinion, I would franchise Jacobs and trade him. I wouldn't be against franchise tagging him again. I think it'd be fucked up to do, but I wouldn't be against it, especially if we get, like a good, if we get a good quarterback, a rookie quarterback, they're on a cheaper deal, and we got him for 5 years, especially if we get him in the first round. And that's kind of like where I'm hoping we get him. I kind of want a first round quarterback. I want us to make the right choice and get a really good quarterback. So I think if there's a possibility that Jacobs comes back, but if we lose out, I don't know if he comes back. I know I have a good, well, maybe what if we trade Adams and then we re-sign Jacobs? What about that? Give him a good deal. If we get rid of Adams and we cut all that money, because in like 2 years, the the you gotta think about it, like where Adams is in his career right now in like 2-3 years, because we got him to like what, like 20, 26 or 27. his salary cap goes up to like 30 something, like 35 million or something like that a year. And in those in 2-3 years, is he really going to have the same step off he has right now? Is he really going to be the same caliber player? With the quarterback that we draft, if we get a good quarterback, like I mean, you know, I would I wouldn't be mad trading Adams and keeping Jacobs. Getting as long, but we have to get that capital for Adams. That's the most important thing. We have to get the capital for Adams. If we don't get it, then there's no point in trading him. And I hate to say it, but he's gonna have to deal with it. Unless we get a really good quarterback and they gel like super quick, he's just gonna have to deal with it. You know, the big old contract that he has. Uh, like I said, the team that wants to trade for him, they got to be able to take that on too, because he's still under contract. Then it'll be up to them to restructure it after. Yeah, I think it all depends on what the coaching staff too. I think it all depends on what the coaching staff, and that's why this decision is so important. It's so important because if Mark Davis doesn't make the right decision, and let's just say hypothetically speaking that he doesn't go AP, he doesn't like what AP how AP finished the year. Antonio Pierce is out. Maybe we keep Champ Cali as a GM. But if we don't, then that means it's a total rebuild. You know, hopefully we don't lose Patrick Graham. Hopefully we don't lose what this defense has become. Hopefully we don't lose a lot of the pieces that we got, Jacoby Myers, um, Max Crosby, players like that. If we get a new head coach, it's gonna be a total rebuild. It's gonna be a total rebuild. If we do go Antonio Pierce and we give him 2-3 years and it doesn't turn out right, then that's 2-3 years added on top of a rebuild because he's going to be out and it's going to be a total rebuild after that. Adams is probably going to be gone. Jacobs will probably be gone. Who knows what Crosby will be at that point. So this decision for head coach is super important, and offensive coordinator, quarterback, the draft, everything coming up for these next few years is so important, especially next year. It's so important for the Raiders because if we don't make the right decision, if we lose players, if we don't make the right draft pick, then we're starting all over, and it's gonna be another dark time for Raiders. Oh, what's up, Rafa?
Yo, what's up, Radar Real Man? El
My bad. Were
Capitan
you
Rap, so
backstage
excited to
long? I
be
was
here.
just ranting, dude.
Yeah, but what you're talking about for the coaching candidates, I mean, like I said, folks, we're not gonna waste another money to a big name coach. Let Antonio Pierce get enough for the first year, and the personal decisions are not looking at the better because we don't want to see the Grudenbeck or Jim Harbaugh. I mean, first and foremost, we just got off the Patriot way, and even worse than sucking because it makes me like completely apathetic because I don't even that that guy can feel a decent team anymore. I mean, Antonio Pierce, he's a good option about it. So I just wanted to tell you that Antonio Pierce brought that Raiders culture because we were just looking for years, and from the Patriot way, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
But the problem is of Mark Davis has never interviewed the best available candidate, whatever the Raiders are a part of the crucial. I mean, you can say it all, but about this is Jim Harbaugh or John Gruden or everything else. I mean, historical data and leadership examples in modern NFL suggest that maybe you're wrong, maybe you're right, but I mean, they're gonna bring out the young, bright, offensive mind. So this is gonna happen like this one because we need something like bigger, like a young, bright offense and mindset. Because let Antonio Pierce cook for another season. Because we're not gonna waste another time for like a big name coach. And of course, like I said, for Jim Harbaugh, he has a big reputation because the last time he was drafted, he was coaching with the San Francisco 49ers. But Instead of the coaching Antonio Pierce, he brought that mindset that no coaches had done it before.
Yeah, he definitely brought back that Raider feel. I mean, like I said, those first 2 weeks, him smoking the cigars and then the Lolo, and you see
Yeah,
everybody
everything.
smoking cigars in the locker room, and they're bumping NWA in the stadium and everything like that. It really felt like it brought back like that old school LA Oakland Raider, like the type of feel like that you felt back in the well, I mean, you barely became a fan, so you might not know what I'm talking about, but like I grew up a Raider fan, so I remember back in the day, like the Raiders were like a team that a lot of other teams were scared to play, because back then it wasn't as soft as it is now. And I'm not saying that it's not for the better, because the safety for the players is most important. But back then, like Raiders played dirty, like if they couldn't win, they're gonna hurt you, and it was always
Yeah.
some type of like exciting football, and other teams hated playing us, so it's a lifestyle, being a Raider fan, and it comes back from those type of days. And I think Antonio Pierce really brought that back, for the fans that experienced that and felt that, I think it resonated with them and stuff. So I can get behind him on that, but these last three losses, he's looked really defeated. He looks like he doesn't really know what to do. When he's in the press conference, he looks really tired. He doesn't know what to say, and I don't know if he doesn't make some type of adjustment. I don't know if he'll be the right guy for it long term. As much as, and that's the way I felt about Rich Bisaccia. I didn't know if he could do it long term. I know the players love playing for him and everything, but I don't know if he has that to be a head coach, week after week after week. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm really hoping that he does improve and we win
Yeah,
at
I'm
least like
hoping
three more
so.
games.
Yeah, I hope it and so. And for the case Jacobs will be back next year. I mean, I gotta tell you this something. I mean, he has been injured and we keep playing him as
No,
every
I
down.
want him to stay too.
Yeah. I mean, he's been injured and we keep playing as him as a every down running back last week and this finger injury. I mean, his first play back with him, it looked like he was supposed to throw for a trick play. I'm hoping it's gonna be like that, but we're gonna 100% keep it on this one. But I don't think they're gonna resend it because just trying into the release in the offseason. I hope this is not gonna be the case. But the offensive core is set for years to come. I mean, if we can't keep pretending that Josh Jacobs is our entire offense and that Matt Crosby is our entire defense, I mean, personally, I mean, there's a hope that we can find to keep him. If we don't, they're just going to have to waste another money traffic going to defense. I mean, McDaniels didn't have to pick the option, and they're betting like a big contract year for going to have Jacobs Bello even higher. I mean, he's probably going to go for a free agency, about for the off season, but he might be happy to go for it because after that game, I mean, after that game, it's going to happen to stumble so far. I mean, no passing game is the big article that they mentioned. I mean, especially the call out based on the grades. I mean, which is not very honest stat about it, but I mean, he has to go for it. But there's a teams that's stacking to the bus and sailing out for the others when I mentioned it. I mean, run blocking. When Jacobs has all the hots or anything met for 5, 6 guys he produced. I mean, this is had the best key season ever. But after he was asked to do impossible
Daniel
production
Berry.
with average line when Josh McDaniels was there, I mean, they're a bigger idiot in the field. I mean, they don't have a pre-snap motion either. Now look at this and setting up for run for the tons of eye candy. Despite Jacob's low production, he's still serving as a piece of price production. When Aaron O'Connor threw that ball to Renfro with the setup for the first cut and end, Jacobs was picking a huge block for the game at the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, the lack of the comment isn't that helping. But I'm not very sure this is gonna be like the last season for this Raiders because right now I don't want it to see it of getting trade because we need something like very special. Guys like Devontae Adams, Matt Crosby, Josh Jacobs, and Robert Spillane, they became the glue to the defense and of course
Robert
for the running
Spillane.
back.
Yep. I wouldn't want to lose Robert Spillane neither. He's playing really good, especially in
Yeah.
coverage. Everything that he's been doing, he's surprised me and everything. Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo, what's up, Daniel Berry? Thanks for tapping in, man. Appreciate it. Pig 76 would be nice if he stays, but investing in a running back is difficult. I mean, we have we still have Sincere McCormick on the practice squad. We got Britton Brown on IR, and I really wanted to see Britton Brown this year, and he got hurt. That was super unfortunate. I think he could be better than Zamir White, just from what I've seen, in the preseason and everything. He's a big body, likes to run hard, downhill kind of runner, at least from what I remember. So if we could keep Britton Brown, Zamir White, I know he's had like 20 something touches, only like about 50 something yards this season, since he's averaging a little bit over a yard per carry. Again, it comes back to me saying, is it so much the offensive line? Is it the play calling and the quarterback and the way the offense is playing, that like defenses are just stacking the box against us? Like, it's kind of hard to say. I think it's kind of a combination of everything. The team kind of really isn't what it is last year, especially Josh Jacobs. But if we could keep him and somehow keep keep Josh Jacobs and keep AP and get a good quarterback and a new offensive coordinator, I think I'd be down with it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I mean, he's feeling
Braylon
like very
Allen.
explosive. I mean, when it comes to Josh Jacobs, I mean, he has a great talent as a running back.
I'm gonna have to
But
look up
yeah,
Braylon Allen, huh?
yeah,
I'm gonna have
Brandon
to look.
Allen.
I'm gonna have to look him up. Yeah, it
Even
is a young man's position. Yeah.
yeah, that's a young man's position. But I mean, what are those things that made the comfort of rotation this kid happen in post snap? I mean, there's too many plays on film where you can see like a safety post snap. I mean, they've been doing with Adams was insulated one by one, which is another way to keeping runs so hard. I mean, they're also coming hard for the runs too, because it seems like they're the combination between actually making them for the passing game and way too predictable with the play calling comes to runs. I mean, because they run first and second. I mean, the line isn't getting any push in the run game. They're almost going backwards in every run, but the online more specifically the right side when it comes to helping to Josh Jacobs. I mean, he has the very blockers right now, but he tweaking about the line to protect and Spencer the running back. But last year, Josh Jacobs was getting into the second level of defense and making defenders play. So far this season, he cannot be backfield. I mean, he hasn't been the problem that no one's running behind our offense right now. So, I mean, he had the most carries in the back of the last year. He won the rushing title until running backs are a dime a dozen. He can Yahoo upon the rock. I mean, his only way to not to be tagged again and to be like a tender is not going to be good. But if they don't pay you or get on range, you can try to go for another one. I mean, why they gonna blame for Josh Jacobs? Because I know he has, I know he has a very good talent as a running back, but it seems that they need to about to improvement now. I mean, the whole position of the running back is very too hard, but there's this team sort of stacking up the bots and selling out to the run, as I mentioned it. But beyond they're running a low, slow development in draws and delaying a shotgun because it's not getting happening. I mean, Josh Jacobs became like one of those biggest figures in the organization for the Raiders. So if they're gonna trade it, I don't know because it feels like they're going into the risk. Because how are they gonna risk about a pass rusher who became like a leader for the NFL for running backs? I mean, it's not about Christian McCaffrey, it's not about Derrick Henry, it's
Ooh,
Josh
Christian
Jacobs
McCaffrey.
who leading as a running back and it is the most difficult position to handle it. And he's
Yeah,
the
but he
position.
doesn't he doesn't look how. I mean, we're just throwing stuff out there, I mean, I would like Josh Jacobs to come back. I like Josh Jacobs. Getting to Pig 76 comment. He said he'd sign Jacobs long term if he takes like 7 million per year, 5 by 7, so like 7 million for 5 years. I honestly don't think he'll take that. I'm just being completely honest. Like, he's probably gonna want somewhere around. For even if he had 5 years, I'm thinking like at least like 10 mil. And I wouldn't do it personally unless we get rid of Adams. But I don't know. I'd rather I think a good running back will help a rookie quarterback better than a good wide receiver, because it takes chemistry to get that quarterback and wide receiver on the same page, as opposed to a running back just, doing what he does, breaking tackles, getting through the line, having a good offensive line, getting into the secondary, and moving the chains, But I mean, that's just me.
Yeah,
Leo, TRS, what's up, brother?
hey, Leo.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Raider Syndicate.
I don't think that Adams and Rogers should reunite because after that happens to the Green Bay Packers, I mean, no, that's not gonna happen. Including because we don't want to see like Aaron Rodgers and going to the Raiders. I mean, we're
Fuck
gonna
no, I
stay
don't
with
want that.
Adams. We're gonna stay with
I
that. We're gonna stay
no. I don't want no more veteran old quarterbacks coming to the Raiders unless it's by a third string. Keep O'Connell as a second string. He knows the system. Hopefully, he gets a little bit better. We need to draft a starting quarterback. We need to draft a starting quarterback. The
with
only quarterback that we could really trade for, and I think, whatchamacallit, Rundown
like
keeps saying it a lot,
some
is
young
Justin
fresh
Fields.
quarterback
Is Justin
who
Fields.
depends for the mobility. How did they say it? No, that's a wrap. We're getting a quarterback run number one. Hmm, that sounds very interesting. I
I
mean,
would
when it
I
comes
would
to
like I would like to take a quarterback in the first round.
give me like a
Said
just
hell no, keep Adams, dude. If I already said it, Leo. If Jets want to give us Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, not both of them, I know they won't do that. Sauce Gardner or Quinnen Williams with like a first and a third this year, or like a second and a third this year, and like a first next year, dude. I would take it. I would take it, man. I'm sorry, I would take it, Leo. Because in a couple years, Adams isn't going to be what he is, and we're going to owe him a lot of money. If we can get some type of thing for the future of this team, it's hard not falling in love with a player as a Raider fan, But I would like to see this team progress. And Adams doesn't want to play with a rookie quarterback. He doesn't want to play with a quarterback who hasn't proven himself in the NFL. So why not give him what he wants and let him go back to Aaron Rodgers?
yeah. But I mean,
We need an
it's
O line.
yeah. But in the case of Fields, I mean, he's more talented, but at the same time, he's a better pocket passer. Both they are lacking in different areas. I personally rather us to start like a draft a franchise quarterback on a rookie deal. I mean, they have it in different areas. I mean, you might expect to draft a quarterback if that's the case. I mean, getting Fields, I think is gonna be solving and everything since we don't have a line. But I mean, if we gotta take Fields, I mean, first we just have the best offense that ever been playing in the NFL. Number two, Joseph Fields has been like a good passer who can make reads, make short and medium long passes. I mean, and not
It'd be
just
good for the
all
league. Send him
throwing
to
in the
New
slide.
York. I agree, John. Yeah, I agree. All right, Rafa.
Yep. But like I said, I mean, there's a lot of improvements right now. I mean, he cannot throw the ball and he needs to improve it about now because he was like either a midland and coaches who don't know about the forward pass because they're gonna get anything favors. I mean, one rerun is not like a long term success because as gonna have to go for it because he even can read a defense, but he needs to improve it. I mean, he's a great athlete, but he has a big arm. But he almost had to build the whole offense around him, just like a Lamar Jackson. They have a chance to be successful. I mean, they gotta give like a guy who knows how to read about the defense. I mean, this
Hey,
is
but
literally
Lamar Jackson had a lot of confidence in himself, though. They wanted to draft him as a wide receiver, and he kept saying, "No, I'm a quarterback." But because he got speed and everything, they're like, "No, we'll draft you as a wide receiver." He's like, "No, I'm a quarterback." And that was one of his biggest things, is like, when he first came into the league, he couldn't really throw that well. I don't want to say he sucked at throwing, but he kind of improved over the years. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he had a lot of confidence in himself because he probably could have went, as a higher pick as a wide receiver, or I don't want to say higher, but I mean he might have had a different career as a wide receiver from a quarterback. I mean, look at Terrell Pryor. The quarterback for us. He still holds the record for the longest quarterback fucking run. I think in Raiders history. I think it was like what 92 yards or something like that. After
Exactly.
after a few years, he ended up being a wide receiver, and he wasn't that bad. I'd give it to him as a wide receiver. He wasn't that bad. Pryor wasn't that bad as a wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Justin Fields is the only veteran to get. I mean, the rundown. I mean, the turnover machine without a deep threat, there is nothing like he can feed Devontae. I
Exactly. I
mean,
would never do
they're
Kyler
gonna
Murray.
happen.
I would never do Kyler Murray. I don't know what you're thinking, Leo.
I don't know. We're gonna turn it to Kyler Murray, but in that case of Justin Fields, I mean, he's very talented. He can be more like the Ryan Ballmet because look at this, folks. Chicago Bears has never the ball quarterbacks as the then for more defensive culture because I can't even imagine how they bought it. That will allow us to focus on the line and secondary on the draft while giving like a shot in Vegas for a year. It will be so like a low risk and a potential high reward. If it doesn't work in and out, we could always sort of look at the quarterback in the next few years draft. I mean, there could be like the potential stars coming out for this year.
This year's draft.
Yeah,
This year's draft. We can't wait no more. We need a quarterback. We need the future at holding the rock every single play. That's why I
yeah,
don't want Jimmy Garoppolo. That's why I don't want Hoyer. That's why I want competition for O'Connell, because we need that future at quarterback. Garoppolo isn't it. Adams is a Raider rundown says Adams is gonna stay because he has a chance to pick his new quarterback. But he said he didn't want to play with a rookie quarterback. I mean, maybe if he gets his pick, maybe. But I remember him saying he didn't want to play with a rookie quarterback, someone that hasn't proven himself and everything like that. And everything he's going through this year is showing exactly that. He's not a happy man. Pigs says Adam and Rodgers are in a small window of opportunity for Super Bowls. That's facts. Adams wants to win a Super Bowl. I don't think he's ever won one. So
yeah, it depends. It depends.
if New York wants to give it up, give it up. I'll take it.
Yeah,
I
we'll
will take it.
Mm-hmm. It depends what.
What let's get it since we're talking quarterbacks and everything.
Uh,
What quarterback you want, Rafa? If you could take any quarterback you wanted in the draft, what quarterback would you get?
oof, because I would love to see like a veteran quarterback or maybe like a rookie. But if we're gonna stay for the rookie right now, I will definitely am gonna choose Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. I mean, that guy is very talented. I mean, he has an mobility as a quarterback. I mean, the intensity, the speed. I would love to draft him in the first round with Michael Penix Jr. He got that impression as being like a mobile quarterback. I mean, and the pass protection, and of course, he gave it like the right involvement. I mean, Michael Penix Jr. got the excellent talent when it comes to like every few years and the Washington State. I mean, Michael Penix Jr. He's because they need to improve about it because he's being like underrated because he has limited mobility. He has in the system who plays the strengths with elite playmakers,
So
but
fam.
I mean he's been like at a two surgeries and on this fight, but it's not gonna be very concerned about it. But he's benefit playing with elite playmakers and a system that he really benefits him. So I will take like Michael Penix Jr.
Ready to rundown said he never said that last year. They picked Stroud. He wants someone he can. Oh, okay. All right. I just remember that press conference when he said, why he came to the Raiders and everything like that. John Leon said he'll take Jaden Daniels. I know Rundown's going to agree with that.
I mean, Janet Dennis is very good. He's very like very impressioned about you.
It was Jaden. And that's what I heard too. He's Penix has a bad injury history. I heard that too. Then doesn't he have like two leg injuries or something like that from college?
Hmm. I
So
mean,
either Caleb Williams or Jaden
I'm not very
Daniels.
sure about it, but it's been like because check this out because he's been like an amazing performance. I mean, that would be scary if LCU will take away down him after this year. I mean, he was very solid. He was passionate for the position players. I mean, this being like it is very fair, but he's really contributed into the bad about for the pass protection. I mean, Jenny Daniels, I'm very curious because he was lighting up. I mean, he's like one of the best quarterbacks in every time of the year. I mean, I cannot believe the throw he's making because he's been underrated because he deserves a lot of things because I know he definitely can could like at a third taken somewhere for because what am I concerns about getting hurt in the way he runs, but I think that he's got the talent and arm to succeed, but he needs to retool it. He's incredibly fast and he has very powerful arm. And he's consistent in his struggle of throwing through the possessions and he relies on athleticism, but he has a difficulty when operating in the pocket. But the good news is very willingness to improve. I mean, he's better than everybody else, but I don't think they're gonna have Caleb Williams because Caleb is very a bust. I mean, Jerry Daniels has a better pass protection, and he has this habit. He's giving like a mechanics that struggle with the tight NFL windows. It's like a bizarre example of a quarterback who's easier to beat when it's kept inside the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Jaden Daniels, he has history with Antonio Pierce too. So I know there's a connection there. And a lot of people are thinking Jaden Daniels are gonna go. I know he just won I think he just won the Heisman, and they're saying that the Raiders never drafted a Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback. So I don't know. It could be the first year. Could be the first year. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. Raiders hashtag TRS. You already know Raider Syndicate in the house. What's up,
What's going
AR?
on, gang? Cracking.
How you doing, man?
Just finished running some errands. About
Nice.
to take a rest, but I thought I'd come and pull up, say a quick hello. It's been a minute since I've been on your live, so
Yeah,
here I
man, I
am.
appreciate it.
Rafa, salute to you. I saw you've been doing big things. Congratulations on that show with Murph. That's
Yeah, man,
quite
I
a
saw
crew you
that.
had there.
Yeah.
I think it's been like 30 minutes, but that was like a great show, and he dropped great takes. But I guess this is gonna be like there's big things coming out from my channel, but I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about.
Salute everyone in the chat.
Tomorrow we got the Los Angeles Chargers versus Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm gonna put like an after game, and I gotta tell you this, folks. During the halftime, I do provide my Spanish play-by-play and my reactions after the game, so you gotta
Shit's
stay
fire.
tuned.
If you don't watch that, go check that out, man.
Yeah, it is.
Rafa's Spanish play-by-play is fire.
There you go.
We got another TRS member in the house. What up, fam?
What's the deal, man? Hey, man, I hear you talking about these quarterbacks, and I gotta pop up on my goddamn mobile device. This how serious it get.
This is on my mobile device.
This how fucking
You actually sound better on the mobile rundown.
That's because I'm right goddamn close to that motherfucker.
Yeah, you're not waving your hands around everywhere.
Yeah.
You're speaking over here. Your microphone's over there.
Yeah.
What's up?
Exactly.
What's up,
There
fam?
you go. Exactly.
I already know who you're gonna talk about. But let me hear what you think about these rookie quarterbacks.
Number one, bro. I'm gonna say this if Leo in the chat. Leo damn near disqualified from the Caleb Williams talk because he a Notre Dame fan. The hate just be showing, bro. Stop. Can't be calling nobody a bust, bro. You can't be doing that. He ain't even played the snap yet. This is all I be saying. All right. Number one, I think if the Raiders are anywhere at like 4 or the 5th pick, they gonna try to trade up. I think they might. Or you can stand pat. I think Jaden Daniels is a perfect option, really. And no cap, if you go, I'll send y'all some on the chat we got, man. Like they was asking him what cities he like. He keep talking about Las Vegas, bro. He keep talking about it. Like he continuously brings it up. He want to go there. I know Caleb Williams want to be a Raider. Shit, I'd be fine with Drake May, but I don't think we getting Drake May. I think Drake May going to the Patriots. I really do. I think that's just gonna be their pick. But I like Penix, but this man done had like 2 ACL tears.
That's what it was.
A
Yeah.
torn labrum. You know what I mean? It's like you done had all that before you even start playing in the NFL, competing against grown ass men. You know what I mean? So like that shit scares me. And then Bo Nix, I definitely do not like Bo Nix, but you know some people like him, but he like at the bottom for me.
I got a question. Being that look, I'm very unfamiliar with the college quarterbacks. My knowledge when it comes to them is very, very thin. I haven't watched much, if any, college football at all. However, unless I don't know, even if Aiden O'Connor balls out from here, I still see us taking a quarterback early. But Arizona, they're in front of us. Are they in need of a quarterback? I mean, they got Kyler Murray. What's their belief in him?
Me and Leo talked about this yesterday. I don't see them moving on from him because he worked his ass off to get back this season. You know what I mean? Like, and he was rehabbing in the building with the new coach and all that. You know, like it just don't make no sense for them to get rid of him because you know he done worked his ass off from that ACL tear to come back. I think if Chicago don't take Marvin Harrison or something like, they're gonna do that or pick a tackle, something like that.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, they're gonna pick a tackle.
Not all those early teams are gonna take a quarterback.
Nah, hell no.
You know, so right now, what did they say we were before the Vikings game? We're like 6. Number 10.
We're 6 now.
We're 6.
Yeah, we 6.
Yeah, we're gonna number 6 and the draft.
I know I sent y'all. I sent y'all a draft order somewhere. I don't know where the hell it's at now.
To be honest, I'm not even looking at the draft order yet until the season is finalized because I mean things will chop and change. There's still how many games left to go? You know what I mean?
4.
Yeah, four games left. So things will likely shake. I mean, we could move up, we could move down. I don't want to look into it until this is where we're at, end of season. This is where we're picking. So I ain't paying attention to like mock drafts or anything like that until everything has been settled.
So we got the Chargers next, and then we got Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Or is it Indianapolis and then Kansas City?
Well, we got our 3 division rivals.
Yeah, so we got
only
Chargers.
played all of them once.
We got Chargers, and then what's
Indiana Colts?
Yeah, Indianapolis, and then Kansas City, and then the last game is Denver.
Oh, the Denver Broncos.
See, this next game against the Chargers, this is a winnable game tomorrow because of all the injuries. That Kansas City game, I'm like being realistic, bro. I'm gonna chalk that up already. I ain't gonna lie. You're gonna take that one on the chin.
Right.
We're
playing away as well, right?
We could
get our ass.
I think we could win that Indy game too.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's no. I don't even see us winning that motherfucking game because they're about to go to the playoffs. They're playing well. They the 7th seed right now. Like
I know Gardner Minshew had them on a roll.
Man,
and Denver is on a roll as well.
They about to steamroll our ass. So, and we go to Indy too because they can run the ball, bro. Like they about it's about to be ugly over there. And if the offense don't get going, I say that. Like if the offense don't get going, it's gonna get ugly in some of these games.
Even at full strength, I in my heart of hearts, I see us losing at least 3 games. Like, you know, I want us to play to win, you know, as a fan, but at the same time, being realistic, I can see us losing all 4.
Yeah, I can see us losing all 4.
Tomorrow I can see a win. I can see a win tomorrow. But Kansas City, no. Going to Indy, that's maybe Denver, and only because like against Denver, funny shit happened when we play Denver. So like that'd be the only reason I say we could beat them.
But this is the first time we played them in how many years where they're catching fire?
Yeah, they actually playing well. They can fuck around sneaking the playoffs too.
Yeah.
So they
the last game of the season too.
This is the strongest they're gonna look in. When is the last time we lost to them?
A
couple years ago.
I want to say at least like 3 years ago.
We ain't lost since we've been in Vegas.
We ain't lost to them since we've been in Vegas.
And what about 2019? Did we beat them twice again? When we were still in Oakland.
What do you think about what Leo said? If we lose out, it's bye AP.
I said this in my video, bro. Context matters though. Like if you watching these games and it's like, God damn, this defense is like we're damn near 11th in the league, bro. Like you feel me? Like when Josh McDaniels got fired, we were 20-something still. Now we done jumped up to 9th, and ain't no coincidence that we done jumped up to 9th since this man been the head coach. He's making adjustments, bro. So like, if the defense playing well, it's like, God damn, like how do you justifiably look and be like, oh yeah, bro, like it's your fault, like the offense is dog shit. Like
yeah, no,
like,
I don't.
Literally your fault.
Bo Hardegree is not good enough, and I do see us moving on at least from him. But at the same time, look, I'm not going to burn the guy.
He needs to be
I'm
out.
not going to burn the guy at the stake. It's like you said, there's context to it. I mean, he was not expected to jump into that role. He's never played that role, to my knowledge, before. He's never called a game.
Yeah.
Not no NFL game.
Yes, he's not good enough. He's not the guy, but I'm not going to burn him at the stake like we did with McDaniels and all those other numpties. You know what I'm saying?
That is
there's
a
no
good
context there. That was just a disaster. With Hardegree, look, all the best with your future endeavors, like they like to say in wrestling, but like at the same time, you know, he's been trying to make the best of what he's had, and like context to it. It's like I said, he's never been in that position. He wasn't hired to be in that position. He came to that position through circumstance. You know what I'm saying? So, and
even I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Bo Hardegree too bad neither, because he's still trying to
get a little past
he has to implement that Josh McDaniels system somehow, because they can't just totally wipe the slate clean and start something brand new at the middle of the season, you know. So at the same time, but I mean, there's times where it feels like it's McDaniels out there calling those plays, and time management and all that shit. It feels like that shit all over again, and that's what I don't want to see. That's what I don't want to see no more.
He's not good enough, but like it's like I said, I'm not going to burn him at the stake. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. I understand the context.
I don't know why people like to look at shit so black and white. You know what I mean? It's like you have to understand. This man, we talk about Antonio Pierce, he took over an offense like it'd be different if the offense was scoring over 20 points a game before McDaniels got fired. Shit, if the offense was scoring over 20 points a game, McDaniels would still be here. So then it's like, you know, like that shit wasn't doing anything before he got fired. So now we're expecting this huge change from a defensive coach on this offense that was already systematically a failure. You feel what I'm saying? Like this offense, even with the head guy running it, wasn't successful. So he's not going to be successful. And then you asking a dude who was the quarterback's coach who ain't never called no plays to implement a whole new scheme in 4 weeks? Like, come on now. Come on.
Yeah.
With a quarterback situation that I've said it. I said it even at the start of the season. Is the most dire it has looked on paper, and it's turned out to be production wise in for the longest time. Like before Derek Carr, even before Derek Carr, when we had guys like Pryor and Palmer and Gradkowski and Campbell, we at least had those guys. You know what I mean? Like this is probably the worst it's looked in a long time. Like at least those seasons, going back as far back as 2009, 2008, we had guys that were there that could at least do some things. Like, granted, Aiden O'Connell, he's just a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like a fourth-round guy that got thrust into a bad situation, but still, I stand by what I said. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, like Leo says right here, 7 games in a row. If we lose out the rest of the season, 7 games in a row, like Stadley, it does fall on AP. It does. He has to take some ownership for it, but at the same time, I hope Mark sees progress in other places.
That's
like
what I'm
exactly
saying.
how you said, the defense and everything, you know. So
can I just comment in a chat there by Leo?
Which one?
At the bottom, he said Pryor wasn't good. He wasn't. Look, I'm by no means saying he was a favorite of mine back in the day, but I'm not saying he was the guy. He was. It was always exciting to watch the guy, for better and for worse. But even when he was at the helm, like, he at least provided some kind of hope for me, more than what there is now.
Man,
I spoke on him earlier too. Like the transition he made from quarterback to wide receiver, he wasn't a bad wide receiver when he.
No, he was pretty good.
Yeah,
1,000-yard season with the Browns.
Yep. Yeah, he wasn't a bad wide receiver, you know. So shout out to Terrell Pryor.
He was an athletic freak. He could make the throws. He's just, when it comes to a quarterback IQ, to succeed at the position. He just
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it
true.
wasn't
wasn't.
there.
You know what I mean?
Had
It
that
just
what
wasn't.
92-yard run, 93-yard run.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do remember a game where you guys might not remember, but like when we played against the Broncos in a loss, we lost in a shootout, and he was making some really nice throws, even at the start of the season. But look, I digress. I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm not saying he was good. Like, I joke around that he was the GOAT, but he wasn't. Like, he's just a favorite of mine because
He's the GOAT.
he brought
AR.
excitement for better and for worse. You know what I'm saying? But at least when he was there, he provided a little bit more hope than what I've got with the current bunch. So
That's why I like Jacoby Ford. He wasn't a good wide receiver or anything, but he used to run it back all the damn time.
Nah,
You know,
dead ass.
so that's
Dead
why I
ass.
used to like him on the team.
Daenerys
I mean-
Moore, Rod Streeter.
Daenerys Moore, yep.
Yeah, that
Shooter.
definitely was some good times. Some of them players definitely was good. We just never had no consistency.
Yep.
Out of none of them had zero consistency. But I mean, getting back to AP, bro. I mean, yeah, I see what y'all be saying, but I'm like, damn, bro, this man got 2 of the 3 phases of the team playing like superb football, bro.
Yeah.
Like the defense is playing well, and the special teams is playing superb. Like fucking, like, bro, like we would be winning games if this offense was any good, like at all.
Yeah, no, I honestly don't hold, like how you said, he's a defensive minded coach. He runs the defense. He was our linebackers coach before he got the interim head coach job. And I'm super happy Patrick Graham didn't get the head coach job because he gets to just keep focusing on the defense and do what he's doing. And if it's gonna be hard for fans to understand, but because they might not see the game like that, they just look at wins and losses, you know. But honestly, like seeing how the players are playing and exactly how you said, like what the defense is and where they're at right now compared to where we started with our previous head coach that, you know, got fired in the middle of the season. Like, man, we got to do everything we can. Mark Davis has to do everything he can to keep everything on that defense and these guys playing the way they're playing exactly how it is, you know, and AP is a big part of that. And people might not agree, but even if we do lose out, I'm still okay with AP being here. He just needs the right offensive minded people around him with the right quarterback, a fresh offensive coordinator, you know, someone that's not running that old school type shit, you know, like Gruden and none of that shit. Like we need, you know, something new and like how people run the RPOs and all that shit now. Like we need something like that. You know, Bo Hardegree's trying to do that shit with O'Connell. I think you said that shit rundown in the group chat. Bo Hardegree's trying to run RPOs with O'Connell. Like that shit ain't gonna go nowhere.
And let this man read the defense and shit. Like it's a different type of RPO because he's like, it's not a running threat. It's
Yeah,
mostly like,
exactly.
I'm either gonna hand it off or I got a quick throw and some shit over there. It don't work like that, bro. Like it's dumb.
Oh man.
That shit is dumb. I don't understand why we run offense like this,
Yeah.
bro. Like nobody runs offense like this.
AP making that shit better. For
Me
real.
too. That's why I keep saying, like, people always want to discredit that. Like, people I talk to, you know, on Twitter and shit, they be like, he's not doing that. He doesn't do anything with the defense. Then what the fuck does he do? You think he just walks the sidelines and shit? Like, bro, he was a linebacker coach before he got this position. He was already part of the defensive scheming, right? He didn't have a big role, but he was already part of it. Now that he's a head coach, you don't think this man got more say on what they want to do on defense? Come on, bro.
I would be if we retained him and gave him a fair chance to do what he can with his own roster moves and decision making, I'd be all for it. But if we don't, if we move on from him and go with another guy, I'd be with that too. But if we do move on from him, I do hope at the very least we don't do what we did with Rich Bisaccia and just let him walk out the door. Like keep him in some, form within the coaching staff. Like at the very least, I'd be very happy for him to go back and be our linebacker coach again. I mean, I said many times before the season, the linebacker core was one of the biggest question marks on the defensive side of the ball. And it actually turned out to be an area of strength for the most part this season. And what he's done to that linebacking core, I thought he did a tremendous job. And if we don't keep him as a head coach, if he goes back to that kind of, if he's willing to go back and take that kind of role, I'd be all for it.
Well, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Rich Bisaccia left, and accepted the same special teams role with the Packers. So
Yeah.
it's not like he moved up and did something, spectacular.
I
So
don't think the
see
Raiders offered him anything to stay though.
they gonna offer AP definitely something to stay. I mean,
Yeah, they have
I see
to.
what Leo say talking about Frank
hope so.
Smith. I talked about Frank Smith, but that'd be one. That'd be a dude, but it scares me.
Even like not just his coach, but what he brings to the team in terms of mentality, and a guy that it seems like the players most definitely gravitate towards. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
something that McDaniels most definitely did not. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right.
all AP's flaws, possibly when it comes to being an X's and an O's guys, he's definitely a very personable, a very likable, very stern but fair kind of guy that the players are going to respect. Nobody respected McDaniels. You know what I mean? And that's a value that is high in itself. And I hope, again, it brings me back to what I was saying. I hope that he gets retained, not just from a coaching standpoint, but from that standpoint as well. You know what I mean? Like,
see, this is my thing though, and this is how I'm trying to explain it. I want to keep AP because I believe in the fact that he's going to work to get better at what he's not good at.
Yeah.
And the next thing is, I don't fully trust Mark Davis to not make a dumbass decision. I don't. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we got all these coaches available and shit, but now I'm hearing he got certain people in his ear that don't make no motherfucking sense. And then it's like, all right, well, why are you listening to these people? Like, Tom Brady, I fully understand, bro. Like, if you're gonna listen to anybody, fuck it, let it be Tom Brady. But apparently now he listening to some reporter dude that does the podcast with Tom Brady. Like, who the fuck is that? What credibility are we talking? Like, who are he talking about here? So that I don't trust Mark to give us a new head coach that I can believe in. Like, I think I can be more comfortable in the fact that AP gonna work at his division.
No. John Leon, I don't know about that.
Oh, hell no, hell no.
AP our defensive coordinator and get rid of Patrick Graham.
Respectfully, John Leon. I mean, Graham has done it. Has definitely proven to me that he's exceeded my expectations, because I was very critical of the guy before the season. You know what I mean? Like,
what he's done.
A lot of content creators, a lot of fans were coming out saying he was going to be the savior and messiah of the defense last season when we signed him. I wasn't impressed last year, but this year, doing what he's done with the resources that he's had to play with, I think it's, for me personally, he's exceeded expectations. I would do whatever it takes to retain him and give him another chance to build on what he's already done.
Yes, even if we get a new head coach, I swear, even if we get a new one, I hope the new head coach keeps him. That would be the smartest thing to do.
That's why that's the one thing I've said it so many times. That's the one thing that scares me about actually getting the new head coach, because they want everything their way. They want everything their staff, their personnel, the people they know, the system they run, everything like that. Like that's the one thing that scares me. I don't want to lose the defense and have to I don't want a complete rebuild. Like, all we need to do is work on the offense, a new offensive coordinator, play caller, quarterback, and make some really great decisions in the draft. And I think this team is going to be really, really competitive, like playoff bound and everything. So
we're very young on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, look how many guys that are there that are 1-2 seasons in the league playing, or even 3 seasons deep. I mean, of course we've got Max Crosby, but a lot of the other kind of cornerstones for that defense, I mean, are the third-year guys like Moreg, Diablo, and who's the other guy? Nate Hobbs as well. Kuntz, I hope we retain as a rotational guy. Hopefully we can find somebody better on the outside to pair with Crosby. I don't know if it's Tyree, if he can keep making strides. Although I will give Tyree credit. He did have his best game as a Raider last week, which I for me is pleasing, because I've been very critical of Tyree and I've been wanting to see more. He did show some potential last week, which is good to see, and that's all I've asked from him this season. It's just showing up potential for us to have faith in, for you to develop and be the guy moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. And this is why I keep saying, bro, it's like, I understand the frustration with Tyree. I shared some, but then I will always say, I can't get on him first year. You know what I mean? Like, even if, I said this in my video, even if you have a great first year, if you drop off at any point in your second year, people are going to talk about that.
Yep.
For example, CJ Stroud, he having a tremendous year. If he drops off any iota next year, come on, bro. You know what people are gonna start saying? Oh, that was just the first year. Now people done figured them out. Come on, now. Like
Yeah.
Right.
it's a
But
marathon, not a sprint.
at the same time, like, and I've made this point a few times. You probably heard me say it quite a few times, but I'm going to say it again. The thing that scares me is the stink of it that, like, with our first round draft picks, when you're looking at some of the other guys we've taken, you know what I mean, in the last 13, 14 years, the only guy who turned out to be good that wasn't a day one game changer, the likes of Jacobs, the likes of Murray, the likes of Khalil Mack, was Colton Miller. He was the only guy that developed to be good in time that wasn't good their first season. I mean, you're looking at the other guys who were defensive ends, like outside linebackers, whatever it might be, that we drafted in year one that didn't show enough potential for us to be faithful. Now I'm looking at Cleve Farrell. I mean, granted, he's not a first rounder, but Arden Key, those are two guys I've seen more potential in their rookie seasons, and they suck for the most
You
part.
want a hot
People
take? I'm gonna
gave-
give you a hot take right now.
You know what I'm saying?
That
And that's what
Minnesota
scares
game-
people.
People gave Colin Miller a lot of shit when he was a rookie.
Look, that Minnesota game, I'll give you a hot take right now. That Minnesota game we just watched was better than any goddamn thing I see Cleveland Farrell do his first year. I don't care. It's better than anything just this past game.
Hang on, the
was-
Charger game 2019.
Man, come on, man. That's the bulk.
He took over that game.
No, he did not. He had a cool game. It was all right. That game was pretty much his whole season, his whole career, bro. He's just cool. You know what I'm saying?
I know that. I'm just making a point that you said he did better than anything Cleve Farrell did in his rookie. And I'm right there with you. Like, Cleve Farrell did not impress me his rookie year, and he ended up being very average, a decent run stopper, and that's it. But that's, it's to my point. Like I said, it scares me about Tyree Wilson showing less potential than him. But I would disagree that I think that Cleve Farrell in that one game, I think, showed a little bit more than any of the games at Tyree, including that Charge game. But it was still impressive by Tyree. I did like what I saw from him for that Charge.
I like him.
I just think last game, like, that's just a taste. You know what I mean? Me and CT talked about it after the game. I'm like, bro, this is him off a foot injury and not even a full off season of training. What he just did last week, and I think all of us kind of talked about him going inside, what the potential of that could be. You know what I mean? So now that we know for sure he can go inside, play outside, whatever the case, add some more muscle to the frame, bro. Now you go into the training, you get bigger, you get stronger, and now you got a full offseason. Imagine what this man gonna be doing. He doing this with limited training camp and coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Think,
and then that
I
forget that too, that he was hurt. We drafted him hurt.
That's what I'm saying. He's barely
that
getting fully healthy right now. Barely.
Yeah.
I hope you're right now. Like, I mean, as much as I've been unimpressed with the guy, like, I want him to succeed. If he's winning and successful, then that's fantastic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never want to, like, I'm not super high on the guy, even though I preach. I don't know, maybe I sound like I'm contradicting myself when I say, I'm going to try and be patient with the guy. But at the same time, I want him to be successful. I want him to be what we saw, like the flashes of him in that Minnesota game. I hope that's the standard moving forward. And at the very least, what we get from Tyree Wilson is a very good guy that can partner Max Crosby on the outside, or even if we move him to the inside, like a decent inside guy, because that's still not really a position that's really. We've got guys that are a decent guys, I guess, but like nobody that's we can say yes, he's the guy we can just keep there and move forward with into, and we haven't had that in the interior for a while now. You know what I'm saying? So.
Somebody that just rushed the passer from the interior, bro. We ain't had that in I don't know how long.
Or not even that. Someone who can just, do his thing, like clog up the hole, take those blockers out of the game for Crosby or whoever else is on that outside, to do their thing. You know what I mean? Like, we were hoping all 3 or 4 of these cats that we drafted in the last 2 years, one of these guys could pan out to be the guy. None of them have panned out to be the guy yet, and that's just another disaster from this last.
Nesta was taking on that double team that one game he was in. I don't know what happened to him.
Who'd you say?
NJS, Nesta J. Silvera. He was taking on that double team that one game he played. He played good that game.
Right. So Nesta, I like Nesta, but like he hasn't really had that many opportunities. But for him to be the best of the bunch, you know what I'm saying?
He might
come on.
I think so, because there ain't no way he ain't got no more opportunities. I'll tell you what.
Byron Young, Neil Farrell,
Matthew Butler. What the hell was that, bro? Like, this man ain't played a snap. a snap. So what the
Yeah.
hell?
Neil
is like,
Farrell, we traded him off before the season
Well,
even
shit,
started.
Spillane and Masterson been balling out.
Oh,
Yeah, but just still,
Linebacker
bro.
was
It's
not a
like, come
problem.
on, bro. Byron Young, that's a waste of a pick. Waste. He's not even playing, bro. Like he don't even get no playing time at all. And guaranteed, we gonna draft a D tackle and damn sure sign one in free agency. So, like, it's like, bro, that's a waste. He gonna get
Yeah.
buried on the depth
We
chart.
we gotta hit on one of these guys sooner or later. I'm sick of us taking a swing at guys like these four cats. Like, granted, I like Nestor. Guys like Eddie Vander Dozen, guys like PJ Hall, G Hard Ward. Granted, he's doing okay with another team, but still, when he played for us,
Nah,
he
bro.
sucked. You know what I mean? Even Mo Hurst, like he did some things, but like he wasn't really consistently on the field to do enough to make us believe that he's the guy moving forward, and we ended up getting rid of him. So, how many times are we going to swing and miss at the interior position? I'm sick of it. I'm over it.
We have a bunch of role and star players, but one superstar, bro. Once we get some more superstars on the goddamn defense, we're gonna be solid, bro. Like we
Not even a superstar, like a good player on that line, like someone who's good.
yeah, exactly.
Someone that they got the offensive coordinator has to plan around and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Even somebody on the outside, you feel what I'm saying? Like even somebody that comes on the outside, I take it right now. Like we don't have nearly enough depth that we need on the outside. Like after Kuntz, just think about it. Like who the hell rotates for Kuntz? You have no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it's too much. And Kuntz is supposed to be that like second guy who comes in fresh, like that you want to rush the passer. You know what I mean? Like I would love to have another dude on the outside that can be like
as much as I like
run
Kuntz,
defender.
I think he's better as a rotational guy. Like he's a good effort hustle guy. My only knock with him is he just doesn't get home enough. You know what I'm saying? But as a rotational guy, I like him. As a starter, I would rather someone who's a little bit better.
And he can be better in the run too. That's the next thing. That's why I've always said he's a rotational dude. He's not all that good against the run. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's good against the pass, but like I would love to have him in a role like you said, AR, where it's like, all right, bro, we rushing the pass for third down. Get him in there. You know what I mean? Like then you can do a NASCAR package or something. I love having him in that situation, but we got to get somebody who can play 3 downs.
Yeah.
I said that the when we drafted him, for me, his ceiling was Ben Sameo. You remember Ben Sameo?
Oh, I like
he
Ben
wasn't a
Sameo.
starter. Remember
was
those years where he came as a rotational guy, and he was a very good rotational guy.
He was,
an impact kind of player. Not a good starter, but as a rotational guy, that's as good as you're going to get. And that for me was Kuntz's ceiling. I don't believe he's reached that, but he's at least this season he's been doing better than what I expected. You know what I'm saying? Like, but still, like I'd rather him coming off the bench, rushing the passer or third down situation rather than being the full-time or for the most part starter because of what happened with our other guy before the season, which I'm not even going to name. You know
oh yeah. On the bright news, we're gonna get I know we're gonna get somebody on defense next year.
Oh yeah.
But this is just good development for Kuntz. At least on the bright news, like it's like he getting hella good reps, hella good development. So now when he has to come in on them rotational downs, he gonna be ready.
Well, it is Kuntz's third season, so I don't give him any more passes for or concessions for development. You get that your first 2 seasons, your third season, you really know where a player's at. They either got it or they don't. And at least Malcolm Kuntz has proven that while he's not a superstar, and maybe he's not even like you could say he's a good player, he's a good role player for me.
He's a good rotational player. I agree.
Yeah, and what I mean by development, I mean like you gotta think about it. Situational development too. Some of these players gotta get reps in situations. You know what I mean? Big game situations or big time, situations where you gonna have to make a stop. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't getting that his first 2 years for God knows whatever reason, bro. Like I don't know what doghouse he was in.
I think he was in McDaniel's doghouse last season. There were so many signs that were there. So many
I don't know
signs.
what the hell it was because he wasn't getting no playing time. So this is the first year we really been seeing him get some playing time. So I think just him getting in there, getting these situational reps, bro, that's just going to be good.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, with Malcolm Kuntz, I mean, he tends to play against snaps because I have a feeling that those pressures and wins will lead to sacks eventually. And the last night was a positive light. I mean, that combination between Malcolm Kuntz, Devon Diablo, and Meg Robertson, they all provided themselves as contributors on the defense. I mean, that's a great hazard to go for it. And They literally had to go factor in every play, every double team and chin up block, and I would fully expect that with those arms right now. But the winning rate is the most protected metric for eventual sack production for Malcolm Coons. It is because of like poor trust with the pressure, and I think it steps to the right direction. I mean, Coons maybe had a pass rush win rate with 22%, but he always play with 100 reps this season. I mean, Crosby had pass rush, but he also played with 300 snaps. So, of course, he's still going ahead to the more pressures than
Mhm.
Coons. I mean, that's what happens when the pass rusher beats this man, but the quarterback gets the ball out for quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know too much about the numbers like that, but for me, I go by the eye test. And Malcolm Kuntz, I like his effort. I like his motor. He always gives 110% every rep that he's on the field. My only knock is that like he's not a finisher. You know what I mean? And ideally, I would like someone who starts or gets more game time that can be a little bit better in that facet. But that's not to say that there's not a role for Malcolm Kuntz, at least for one more season. I mean, he's still got one more year on his rookie contract, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Rafa just said something. I'm already previewing it, man. I'm making a list already of some of the Raiders that some people like that I know for damn sure probably ain't gonna be here next year. So it's and Divine Diablo is one of them. I swear to you, I will upgrade in a minute if I had to. I am not a fan. I'm not a fan, bro.
I've
He's
seen flashes.
bro. He's not good in that, but that's all it is. That's all
Yeah.
it's ever been. You feel what
No,
I'm saying?
no consistency.
It's all it's ever been, bro. Like you'll get one game that's cool, then he get hurt, and then he come back and he's never the
Yeah.
same after he get hurt. You feel what I'm saying? And then now we looking at him hobbled for the rest of it. It's been like that the whole time. And he's terrible in coverage. Terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah.
Would you have Masterson taken over from him full time?
Yes. Yes. I think me and you talked about it. Like, hell yeah. Masterson, bro, when he gets in there, he thumps. Like, and he's consistent when he does that, bro. Like, he gonna give effort. He gonna fly around sideline to sideline. That's the shit I like to see. You know what I mean? Like Diablo, sometimes I look at him like, God damn it, your big ass is jogging. Like, yeah, why is your big muscly ass jogging to people like this, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Why are you behind? You supposed to be a former safety. You feel what I'm saying? And he be lost in zone coverage consistently. I just don't get it.
We definitely need another linebacker or two
Yes.
next season to provide
Yeah.
some competition
Yeah.
to be another good starter alongside. I mean, look, Spillane, he for me is
Oh, he's top. Yeah,
one of
he's
two
the-
guys who are our centerpieces. I'm looking at
He's the
Crosby and Spillane being the two centerpieces on the defensive side of the ball that we can build around. Linebacker, look, I like Diablo. Like I can kind of agree. Like since he came back from injury, he wasn't showing as many flashes as he was before he got injured. But that's not to say, like, I think with all things considered, like his development has been, for the most part, pleasing. I mean, coming from
It's
as a
okay.
safety to becoming a linebacker, and for me, a solid at the very least one. I mean, how many times have we swung trying to turn these safeties or corners into linebackers and all that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we did that again last year with Amari Burnett, who we rarely see on the field, and that's still to me a head scratcher. Like, is he gonna even develop to be decent? I don't know. Time will tell. But I'm right there with you, John Leon. Like, I mean, he's saying that there's linebackers in the draft. I'd be more than happy to take. Look, not another experimental project linebacker, just a linebacker who plays linebacker. Please, is that so much? Is that so
I
hard to
can't
ask
tell
for?
you that yet,
You know what
John.
I'm
I ain't went that deep into the linebackers. I'm gonna get deep soon because the draft shit is coming up. I'm gonna get real deep, but I can't tell you that yet. But what I do
All
know
right,
is
fellas.
that dudes like Patrick Queen is gonna be available. Dudes like maybe Devin White might be available. And see, Devin White, maybe I don't like Devin White.
That's a
He
good
can't
name.
cover either. So then that'll piss me off even more. So I think it's hard to find an actual like good linebacker that's good in coverage, but realistically, we need to find somebody that's just consistent. That's really it. That's all we
Yeah.
want.
Just a
Does
linebacker
their-
who's a good linebacker who plays linebacker.
Bro,
Yeah.
thank you. That's it,
Right.
bro. Just be consistent, bro. And come down
Plays
and dunk. You
linebacker.
feel me? That's it. That's all we need.
Sorry,
Yeah.
CC, you want to wrap
We
things up?
good, bro.
No, I just want to get everyone's final thoughts on the Charger game real quick, and go ahead and shout your guys' channel out where they could find you and everything like that. Because closing up on 2 hours here, I appreciate you guys for coming and tapping in with me. You know, everybody that came through in the chat for real. But yeah, so gonna be wrapping it up real quick. We'll start with you, Rafa, AR, and then Rundown. Last thoughts on the Charger game, and then where they could find you at, what shows you got going on, and all that stuff.
All right, so you can follow me on Twitter at Capitan Rafucho, also on Instagram at El Capitan Rafucho, also on my YouTube, Rafael Chacin. So my last thoughts are about for the Raiders versus Chargers. This is gonna be like an epic showdown because we had to worry about the defense and the offense right now. But the most important thing about it, we had to be aggressive every time that we were looking for. I mean, we had weapons like Robert Spillane, and in the jury report, I was looking for Justin Herbert's gonna be out, so it might be Aaron O'Connor will take care of this, but we need to a lot of pressure running back every time with the Josh Jacobs, and of course, Max Crosby, Devon Diablo, all those linebackers will make like an impressive performance do it for the defense because this time the defense and the offense will be like a bigger role on that game against Los Angeles Chargers.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game too. Division rival, everything like that. Got a lot to prove, and like we all said, I think this is probably like the one, maybe one of the two games that we can win. So I would like us to go out there and get a dub. AR, wanna shout out where they can find you? Last thoughts on Chargers game, anything like that?
First things first, thanks for having me on the panel. Appreciate you having me, CT. Keep doing your thing, real man. As well as you, Rafucho and Rundown. You guys are all doing big things. I've kind of taken a bit of a break last week. I've had a few things going on in my personal life. But I will be getting back to the Raider content on my side of the fence. You got my channel down there. Like, I see all the names. I see you in my chat feed. So, I really appreciate everyone's support. But if you don't, that's my channel. Just type that in. Or Raiders World Order. Shout out to my guys, Raider Joe and On Six. We do our shows usually Tuesdays. Tuesdays for me, sorry. Monday afternoon, 5:05 p.m. Pacific time. That's when we usually go live. But as for the Chargers game, look, my point of interest isn't even in the winning and loss, the wins and losses. Although I do want them to win, of course. Mine is going to be, I'm going to be focusing on our future. I'm looking at guys. I'm going to be very interested in watching Tyree, focusing on him. I'm going to be looking at a young secondary. Guys like Jack Jones. I was trying to pay attention to him last week. Tyree, Jack Jones. On the offensive side of the ball, Aiden O'Connell, as well as Thayer Mumford. I mean, he was playing left tackle, and his results were mixed last week. For a guy who played that position for the first time starting, I thought he did okay. But if Josh Jacobs is injured, I really hope we play a lot of Zamir White. And that's who I was talking about before, CT, in your chat feed, about I have not been impressed since he's been in the door. A running back we have drafted. Where did we draft him? 3rd round, 4th round? You know what I mean? Who hasn't even been able to secure being a decent spell back, let alone a feature back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to hop on about what other people were saying about him before the season, doing this and that. He hasn't done nothing in 2 seasons as a Raider. There's only been one draft pick Raider running back draft pick we've had in the last 15 years that's done less, and that's Elijah Hood in 2017. Every other running back has at least been able to do something in their first 2 years. I'm still waiting on Zamir White to do something, and if he gets his chance this week and moving forward, going to the end of the season because Josh Jacobs is hurt, it's now or never for me. And if he doesn't at least do something to make me somewhat hopeful that he can be a decent guy to have on our roster, that can at least be a decent spellback. That's all I'm asking. If he cannot do that by year's end, get him up out of here. We're drafting another running back next season's draft. That's my
facts. Rundown. What you think? Last thoughts on Chargers game, where they can find you. Let them know everything. I'm going live tomorrow before halftime.
You already know the deal, man. It's Raider Rundown. Type that in, man. Or just type in Rundown, man. We about to get patented soon, man. So we get close. But definitely, if you want to follow me on YouTube, I got all that stuff cracking. I know tomorrow I might be doing something with my man CT, pre-game, halftime, post-game show. So we might be bringing that to you. We might be working on that. So if we do something like that, make sure y'all pull up because it's gonna be a night game, so it's gonna be spicy whichever way it go. Appreciate everybody on the panel. Definitely, Rafa, you know what I mean. You just had a fire interview with Murph. That was a fire episode, bro. AR, man, you already know I'm always tapped into your content. So, everybody on here be doing their thing. Final thoughts on the game, man. Is I'm on evaluation period. You know what I mean? You saw me having my arguments in the chat, in the TRS chat, man. I'm either way it go, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna be super, excited if we win. Like I'll be happy we win. And this is definitely a winnable game. They ain't got no Keenan Allen. They ain't got no Justin Herbert. But we have injuries upon our offensive line, and their D line is still intact. So that's like, you know what I mean? Like, and we, if I'm not mistaken, Colton Miller was playing that first game. If that Khalil had them 6 sacks. So, that like now here we talk about a makeshift offensive line. Josh Jacobs hurt already. We ain't had no damn run game with Josh Jacobs. So now Zamir White comes in, and like AR said, before the season, I tried to give Zamir a little pass, maybe, but nah, he ain't got that shit. He ain't got it at all. I'm all for drafting another running back next year because if in the draft, bro, it's oh my god, bro, there are like 10 running backs in this next draft that I would draft in the 3rd, 2nd round, damn near.
There's
bro.
no reason a rookie or a sophomore running back cannot contribute somewhat. It doesn't have to be the feature back, but at the very least,
there are hella running backs this draft. I mean, you talk about Penix, bro. When we talk about Penix, you got to talk about that motherfucking number 7 in the backfield, bro. That dude is cold, son. Like when you watch him in the playoffs, bro, watch him. It's like Dylan Johnson. That motherfucker's real. Or even Chris's boy, Blake Corum. There's multiple motherfucking running backs in this draft. So
a lot of talent in this draft.
He gonna have to show something if he get his opportunity. So definitely that defense. Like I said in my video, bro. If the defense comes out here and lets Easton fucking stick, like score over 20 points, then yeah, AP's definitely not the dude. Definitely. Yeah. Because we're hanging the hat on the defense. And he even said it in his presser today. Defense wins championships. So you can't let a motherfucker like Easton Stick come out here and score over 20 points on you. It just can't happen. You know what I mean? Like you need to go ahead and secure that down if you're gonna put your stamp on that. And that's what I'm defending him on, that he's a defensive head coach. Well, goddamn it, the defense gonna have to show up. That's what it's gonna have to be. And they're gonna have to make plays because we all know good and goddamn well this offense ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. We all know that. So, like, by this point in the season, bro, I've been said it. We're already here in the season, bro. What you have shown up to this point is what the fuck you are. There's no goddamn way you're going to turn this around and all of a sudden we're scoring 25 plus points. Stop. It's not happening.
I mean, I can see us scoring over 20, but I don't see us turning that corner this season, like you said.
It's not.
Can I have one last take after you finish on there?
Yeah.
No, yeah. We're too far in the season. But other than that, man, we'll see. But tomorrow, it's a winnable game. We'll see. But like I said, I'm just in evaluation period. Want to see Antonio Pierce correct some things. Yeah.
Sorry, you brought up a good take about Khalil Mack and what he did the last time we played. I forgot about that. He did line up on the right side. On our right side, he pretty much destroyed Illumina. So
he destroyed Illumina.
I hope we don't let Khalil Mack reintroduce himself, so to say, as being one of, if not the greatest Raider player on the defensive side of the ball. In my personal opinion, outside of Charles Woodson, the last 25 years that we've had. For me, for anybody who invalidates what Khalil Mack was doing as a Raider is absolutely asinine. And unfortunately, he had to, show exactly what he was. The last time we played the Chargers, and I hope he doesn't do that. I hope we do a better job of shutting him down. So,
yeah, no, that's a good point for real. Kind of let him come in here and have that kind of big ass game. But once again, like Menace said, hit that like button, y'all. If you guys enjoyed the show, subscribe if you guys liked it. Consider subscribing. Follow everybody. Rafa, AR, Raider Rundown. You already know who I am. CT Dinero, Real Men Are Raiders. This has been another Real Men Are Raiders podcast. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Keep doing what you love what you do. I'm out. Peace.
Raider Nation for life. All right, have a good one.
Have a good one, Rafa. Thanks again, everybody.